Who do you have to become to receive what you want? Think about that, because a lot of people think they need to do a bunch of things in order to get that outcome. But I had my mind blown at this event about 2 years ago. I was a freelance photographer, videographer, editor, was starting to scale up into building landers and VSLs. And I went to this event, and this guy was an agency owner, and I was like, dude, like I need a mentor who's an agency owner. And he's like, you don't need a mentor who's an agency owner. You need to get really clear on where you're at right now and who you have to become in order to become an agency owner. And this is a universal lesson. This is what I do to understand where I'm at currently and where I'm going and what I need to do or who I need to become, what frequency, what vibration do I need to, and what traits, what characteristics, what skills do I need to have to become this over here. Because once you have all those traits, personalities, and skills and that future version of you, it naturally attracts, it appears, right? So, and the opposite way to get there is to work harder, draw it out, like undefine what you need to do to get to what you're attracting. Because at the end of it, if you guys haven't got this from my videos, it's like, don't chase, attract. And attracting is much simpler, because you take yourself in this moment and you get really clear on who you are and you define the gap to who you're becoming. Because once you become that, once again, it appears, right? So currently, and this is what I did on this exercise, is I got a whiteboard out, but it's like currently, and you name all your traits, but you don't do that until you figure out who the future me is. And even I was thinking about this for myself, and it takes a second, and it's like, if you don't know the answer, don't create it until you get clear on it, right? But it is like, you know, the future me is in, I'd definitely say the space industry, right? Like that's big for me right now. I can feel like it's around the corner, and that excites me and scares the shit out of me, right? Because I'm like, I've never done anything like this, but it's definitely a passion of mine. And in the space industry, I'd say I'm a digital creator. Something tells me I'm definitely stepping into being a YouTuber. And I'm gonna guess I have a ton of partnerships. And I think that defines it enough right there, because then on the flip side, I can put where I'm at right now. So future me, space industry, digital creator, YouTuber, partnerships, right? Currently, this is where it gets fun. So currently I am we could say freelance creator. Or a freelancer. I am a digital creator currently. I'm heavily digital creator. And then, let's see, what else do we got? YouTuber. I'd say I'm currently a YouTuber. And then partnerships. I don't have any partnerships currently signed, but I have a couple on the horizon. So solopreneur. And then right away, we can break down this gap right here. So digital creator, check, check. YouTuber. So partnerships is huge, because that crosses off that, and then freelancer. So then there's two gaps here, right? Is like, in order to get, number one is partnerships and space industry. So if I was wanting to get into the space industry and I haven't been in it yet, and I'm also looking for partnerships, it's like, you know, the first thing I need to do is get partnerships in the space industry. So that's what I'm going to write down below. Partnerships in space industry. And then think about that. It's like, number one, that's a really easy way in. And the other day I actually did send a company an email that staged partnership, but also left a connection point to see and also get on the radar, because I've learned source, not force. Don't force anything, but like put it out there. Let them know who you are. Let them start to watch you. Let them see what you're doing naturally without the pressure, and then see if it fits what they're doing. Like that's a genius way. It's very simple. And it's like every website has forms, but you also got to know like the forms on those websites, what information to put in, what to exclude, what the common person does, and do the opposite of what common people do, because you want to stand out, right? And I'd say currently I have no partnerships, okay? Now we're gonna go into personality traits, right? So and you can draw a line there. And it's like, this can be replicatable to whatever you do. Just kind of follow the same process, okay? So no partnerships in the space industry, check. So now we got one box ready to fill. And then if you break down partnerships, it's like, okay, what is somebody with a partnership? They are independent. They can stand alone. They're sustainable because they're their own ecosystem in a sense, right? They're sustainable. They have their own willpower and drive. And then, and I'd say those are like the key things to a partnership, right? Because somebody doesn't want to partner with you if they're supporting you, right? Like it's mutual, it's a symbiosis. It's, you know, like the ecosystem makes the grass. It's a predator-prey model is what this is. It's like the ecosystem makes the grass. The deer eat the grass. When there's no more grass there, the deer flock away so the grass can regrow. Then the deer come back. If deer don't exist, the grass is going to continue to grow. It's going to cause overgrowth, and then stuff down low can't grow. But when the deer eat it, then the undergrowth gets a chance to growth, right? So simple model there, but those two work hand in hand because the deer can't live without the grass, and the grass needs the deer to eat it to allow the undergrowth to rise up, okay? So then it's like, what does somebody in the space industry want as a partner? And I'd say this all transfers over there, correct? Is like, they'd probably want somebody who's an independent creator, standalone, isn't on their budget, but also is, you know, sustainable willpower and drive because they're partnering with you, they're not supporting you, right? So then that, in a sense, could get me into that industry, okay? So then from there, it's like personality-wise, now we'll go into all of this, is think about the space industry as a whole, right? And you can apply this to your industry. Is like, think what somebody in that industry has to embody. And there's already avatars there. For instance, it's like, you think about SpaceX, you could put like Elon. You got Jeff in there too. I don't like Bezos here. And then you got, you know, Interlude. There's all these companies, right? But it's like, take a couple avatars. I think Elon's the most hallmark for this industry, right? And I'd say he's a leader in it. It's like, what kind of personality traits does Elon have that I currently embody, right? I would say, well, there's so many, but it's like, think about that person in that industry who's leading it. What do they have? And then what do you need to do? So we actually need to put Elon on this other side, but he's going to be the hallmark person on this, right? So then personality-wise is Elon works endlessly, right? So endless work. So I'd say vitality, curiosity, openness, you know, really creative, problem solver. And you can continue to go, and it's like, you know, handle stress. And there's so many more there, but then it's like, even on this side, I could say a lot of this is the same personality. And this is why I wanted to show you this too. It's like, I didn't plan on this, but it's pretty cool. I was like, honestly, everything that I'm working towards is essentially here. The only thing that I don't have is a partnership in that industry, right? So there's the gap. This is the massive gap here. But it's like, in a sense, down here, the personality traits that kind of mirror in a sense, and then they're going to be different. It's like Elon's on a whole nother level of his work. And in human design, I'd say he's a manifesting generator, like go, 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 go. The more he goes, the more he gets, right? And as a projector, I'm the flip of that. But in a sense, too, I can work less and create more, you know, because it's all systems and structure and intuitive stuff and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, once you can break it down, like the gap doesn't really exist. But then it's like, okay, so then my goal is going to be staging for partnerships here and understanding, like, I got SpaceX in my backyard. I got Houston 3 hours south. And then magically too, the company that I reached out to or put in that web form the other day is already located with their lab in Houston. So it brings in proximity, and then proximity is like, now it's like, how do you get into these partnerships? And it's like, you got to start going to events. You got to start getting in the network and stuff. And it's like, if you have the personality and the traits there, it makes it a lot easier to get into those events and stuff, and people are going to recognize you too. But if you have the gap from the personality and you're going to events, you're going to have to learn who you got to become in that space in order to attract that space. Otherwise, you're going to be like, hi, what's your name? Hey, I'm looking for, I'm looking. And they're like, they move so fast and so rapid in that industry. And this is specific to space, but it's like, it's fast, it's rapid. It's kind of a race, but it's also like a strategic race, right? And they're not after more bodies, they're after more analytical minds and people who can like endlessly create and do it on the fly versus people who need to plan and strategize and all that stuff, right? But it's like overall, as you can see here on this video, it's like, you just have to know where you're currently at and be so freaking honest with yourself to identify the gaps. Once you identify the gaps, that's your focus. And once you have that focus, then you can essentially identify what you need to do, say like every day, what is one thing you can do every day that gets you closer to this gap, to filling that void, right? And I'm always like, don't look at people outside of you, look at yourself, figure out what that thing is you can do. You control your own reality. You're going to save yourself, right? But when you do that thing, it brings people closer to you. And that's the magnetic pull here, or the electromagnetics, or the law of attraction, right? And law of attraction is scientifically based. It's like we're all just energetic beings here, right? I'm an expression of atoms. But as I get into the core of who I really am and what I really love, and I close that gap of the old pseudo self and I replace it with the true self, I become a beacon. And it's like I put out a signal and it's like boop, boop, boop. And before you know it, people come in, and that's what's been happening. And it's like, it's getting really fun. But it's like, stop chasing, start attracting, figure out where that void is and what you're actually trying to become, and become it in the moment to attract it in the next moments. And I think that's going to summarize today's video. And then everybody who's been here watching these, thank you so much. And I got a little gift for you coming up. I played with it yesterday, and it's going to be out here. What are we on? I think video 25 out of 30. So we got 5 more. But the gift that comes out of this is what I've been working on this whole time, and it's for everybody watching these videos. And much like I put in the past too, is it's nothing I'm gonna charge for. Honestly, I just give this stuff out because, and I even watched this video today, funny enough, it had Elon in it, and it's like, make more than you take. And that is my biggest philosophy in life, is like, you're either a creator or a consumer. And if you're not creating for humanity, you're taking from humanity. So let that sink in. I'm gonna leave the video here today. I think that's a really good ending, is like, figure out if you're a creator or somebody who's taking. And if you're endlessly creating, you're gonna pull all that energy into you. You become the black hole, the vacuum, because you're endlessly creating. And that's my intention, is just to endlessly create and become the vacuum that attracts everything that I want, right? Before we start a new video, guys, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to check out the description box for any links and stuff that's out there. And then, like I said, once I wire some stuff and go high level, I'm gonna have a little gift for y'all at the end of this 30-day series. And then, if I had to guess, we're probably gonna be starting another series. So thank you so much for being here. Peace out, and best of luck on your journey. And may you attract everything that's for you.